In this lesson, I will show you how to deploy your strategy on an Algo demo account, which is available to everyone immediately after account activation. And even if it doesn't achieve as accurate results as if you used a broker account, it's perfectly fine for, let's say, baseline test. I will be using one of our example strategies to deploy, specifically the breakout strategy, and I will now show you the deployment process in detail. The big advantage of this platform, even what makes this platform completely unique, is that we can let the strategies run live. But now, enough bragging, let's get into AlgoCloud. As I mentioned, I'm going to be working with a breakout strategy. I've found it in strategy examples and clone it. First of all, we need to make sure that the strategy is exactly what we want to deploy, because you always have to make responsible decisions. We strongly advise you not to deploy any strategy without knowing how it trades. In the Data tab, I update start day and end day. In the commission setting, I select the appropriate commissions, thus stock picker, save everything, and run a full backtest. Once the strategy is complete, I check the results, or the backtest is complete, I check the results and can proceed with the deployment. Now, an important note, whenever I want to deploy a strategy, I must have it saved. I click on Files and Save to My Strategies and name the strategy. I choose Breakout, Deploy, Ready. Like an example, I can find the strategy later in the manager in the left menu. Now I am ready to deploy the strategy, so I click on the Deploy Strategy button. In this window, I will choose the following parameters. Whether I want to deploy the strategy as paper or live. Since this is an Algo demo account, it does not trade with real money, so we will leave paper. In the account option, we will find all connected brokers, and how to connect to each broker will be in separate videos. The default broker that each account has is listed first, called Demo Trading Default. Next, there is Traded Instruments, where the settings are taken from the strategy. I will only point out here that it is necessary for the broker to support all stocks that are in that particular group, such as Interactive Brokers or Alpaca. But for example, XTB has only 1,500 stocks from the group. In that case, even though we receive a signal to open a trade, it is possible that the broker will not support that stock. With such a broker, it makes more sense to trade groups such as S&P 100. Then there is the execution setting, that is when strategy is triggered, or the timing of trade entry, for which there is a separate lesson. The setting you see here is again taken from the backtest. Money management. The first value means how many positions we open, and the last is the amount of money tested. The settings here may be different than in the backtest, so please pay attention. Why is this? In case we have $10,000 in our account and we want to trade this strategy with a full account, using full account, meaning we want to allocate $10,000 to this strategy, we can leave 10,000 here. However, it may happen that we have 10,000 in the account, but we have two strategies and we want to allocate $5,000 to each of them. And that's exactly the case where we would change the amount here. Then there's last point where, although we do not have to set anything up, it's very, very important. And that is the disclaimer that Algo is only a platform that facilitates trading at broker. And when we deploy strategies, it is our responsibility to understand the logic of the strategy. And it is important to know that it is only a software. Of course, we do our best to ensure great functionality and error-free performance, but never say never. Finally, we come to the main thing, the deploy and start button, which we use to deploy the strategy. From now on, the strategy will be launched at regular intervals and will send signals to the broker's account. This comment takes us to the demo accounts tab in the main menu. We can see the next entry here. The strategy enters when bar close, hence we see this time here. The next columns are followed by the results. At the same time, you will start receiving reports to your email about how the strategy is doing. In a separate lesson, we will look at all the different tabs you see here. Same for monitoring. And finally, of course, a note that you need to check that strategy is trading correctly. You just need to check the results regularly. You don't have to sit on it 24/7, but you can't completely forget about the strategy either. It's like sending your child to college. You don't see them every day, but you remember them from time to time and check how they're doing.